what it do, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Hot Stove Report. I'm your guy, Hector. I am joined tonight by my guy, Mr. 161 himself, my guy, Jason Surge. Jason, how you doing, big fella?
All good, man. All good. You know, looking forward to hearing some more news to break. And we got the not so big news yet earlier today. They got Jeter Downs here, but
Yeah.
that's just Cashman doing a little, the little mini work right now, waiting for, the kid from Japan to see whether he's going to decide whether he's going to come here or not. So I think we're all waiting with anticipation to see what's going to happen, man.
Brian Cashman went out there and he got Alex Verdugo, Jeter Downs, two pieces from the Mookie Betts trade. And I think it's just Brian Cashman trolling the Boston Red Sox just in general. But everybody in the chat, how are you doing? We got 32 people in the building. If you're watching on Instagram or if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, click the link and jump on over to YouTube and join the conversation because the YouTube conversations have been wild. Shout out to my guy Jordan P in the chat. Jordan, how you doing? He says the Yankees and Twins might pull off a huge trade. The Twins are trying to cut payroll. Listen, I don't. From the last trade we did with the Minnesota Twins and Josh Donaldson, I'm not looking forward to any trade with the Twins. Jason, what about you, bro?
Yeah, not either. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who we would get from them. Honestly, we don't need any outfielders anymore, and we don't think we need any infielders. So, and Sonny Gray's gone. I don't think we would trade for him anyway. So, I'll pass on the Twins.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be giving us that reliever Durant who throws over 100 miles per hour. So if it's not him, I don't want anybody else. The guy throws 105 out the bullpen. That would be something if the Yankees are able to pull that off. But shout out to Yudo Yosef that's in the chat. Johnny Jimenez is in the building. My guy Edward is in the building. Like always, if you guys can, smack that like button. And if you're watching us for the first time, hit the subscribe button. We are on our way to 3,000 subscribers. We was able to crack 2,000 last week. Help us get over to 3K. And shout out my guy Jason because you cracked 20K subscribers last week. Was it last week or a couple of days ago?
Yeah, it was a couple of days ago, and I thank everybody for their support very much from the bottom of my heart. I thank you all. Really.
Yeah, no, definitely. Us Yankee content creators, we have been busy this offseason with the Juan Soto news, and now with the Yamamoto sweepstakes. It's like we're waiting to see when Yamamoto is going to sign. There's been reports that he was supposed to sign this week, but then some reports came out earlier today or a few hours ago. Teams that are bidding on Yamamoto have a growing sense that he won't sign until after Christmas, and it could stretch to at least January 4th. This is according to Bob Clappis and the guys over at Talking Baseball. So when you hear that, Jason, what do you expect? It's like, because everybody is saying he's going to sign this day, he's going to sign that day. I'm going to believe it when I see it. What about you, Jay?
And I agree. And even Bobby Malone put out, one of the reasons why this delay might be happening is because some of the bids might be low. And Joel Wolf, his agent's probably not happy with that. So he's trying to gin up the prices and trying to raise this. He wouldn't be doing his job if he didn't try to do this.
Of course.
And just like Scott Boras, he raises the market for everybody. Scott Boras now is using Corey Seager and Bryce Harper as the new benchmark for Cody Bellinger. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if Joel Wolf, got a couple of low $200 million offers, and he's trying to get it as close to $300 million as possible. So, and I don't think he's there yet, to be honest. And I would agree with Bobby Malone when he said that too. So, we don't know if he's going to get to 300. And honestly, at 300 itself, the posting fee is going to be $45 million at 300. So 300 becomes 345, right? We're just straight out the get go. So that's going to be a tough pill to swallow for a lot of teams. And I do think that, Joel Wolf's probably a little shell shocked right now that they're not getting the money that they're looking for. But we could be wrong. A lot of these reports that we've been hearing have been contested by different reporting a couple hours later the last couple of days. So we don't know. But that's my take on it right now. I'm guessing they want to wait a little bit longer to raise the prices, to get somebody to fold or to bite.
Yeah, and a lot of numbers came out, and shout out to everybody that just joined us. If you guys can, smack that like button, Cadzilla is in the building. My guys from Empire State of Baseball is in the building. Make sure you give them a sub. They put great work out there. Stephen B is in the building. Davey Hamandi is in the building. Davey says, did you get a trophy when you reached 20K, Jason? The people want to know, did you get a participation trophy from YouTube? What was your gift from YouTube?
Nah, the first, I think the first milestone from YouTube, you got to get 100K.
Yeah.
They send you that silver plaque. So maybe 15 years or so when I get to 100K.
That's the goals. That's the goals right there. Yeah.
Man.
Listen,
but
when it comes to all these fake numbers that were put out last week, there was multiple reports saying that the Yankees went over 300 million, the Mets went over 300 million. And like you said, if a team does reach that 300 million mark, there's not that many teams out there that can take a hit when it comes to that extra 45 million and still be able to keep it going. So when you look at the top three teams that are favored, the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Mets, those are all three big market teams that they have pockets. The owners have pockets. You saw with the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani what he got. Of course, Steve Cohen is willing to spend with the best of them. And then we're hoping that Hal Steinbrenner, he had a visit from the ghost of Christmas past and George Steinbrenner, and he's feeling like he's going to spend some money. But I don't know what to make of it, bro. It's the waiting game that is just waiting for no reason. I just want this to be over. But ultimately, I still have faith that he will sign with the New York Yankees just because I'm an optimistic Yankee fan. What do you feel when it comes to that, Jason?
Well, I have two questions for people in the chat, and for you too, Hector. Like, does the one meeting with the Mets or the one meeting with the Dodgers leapfrog the year-long effort that the Yankees put in for this guy? Right? Does it? And my other question is, what is your absolute walkaway number? At what number do you like, you know what, the hell with this, I'm walking and I'm going pivot, like for Yamamoto's contract?
For me, I'm gonna answer the second part. I think if the demand gets above 350 million or close to 400 million, I think that's when Hal Steinbrenner will probably bow out of the conversations for Yamamoto. I think 350 or 400 million is too much for a guy who hasn't thrown a pitch in the major leagues, right? So I think that's a bit absurd for Yamamoto, even though he may be a phenomenal pitcher coming over from Japan. It's still unproven. But when it goes to the first part of your question, you asked that meeting with the Mets or with the Dodgers, I think it's just how Yamamoto is handling business. I think those meetings were going to happen no matter what. I think this is the type of man that he is when it comes to being respectable and just keeping communications open for every other team. So I don't look that much into it. I've seen people saying that, oh my God, Steve Cohen had an emergency meeting, so the Yankees called up his agent and had to have a meeting. I don't believe none of that, Jason. What about you?
Yeah, and the fact is, nobody put in the groundwork that the Yankees did.
Yeah,
nobody. So, to me, that gives the Yankees an advantage, and I think a rightful one. And in all honesty, if he's more impressed with the star-studded meeting with the Dodgers or the Mets money or whatever, maybe he doesn't belong in the Bronx. If that means more to him than the Yankees courtship, and they flew out to Japan every week the whole entire season for every one of his starts. That to me, dude, that's love, man. That's like when you're courting a girl and you got to date her. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like the ultimate courtship, man. It's like the ultimate courtship.
They've been putting in the time, right? You said it. I've said it on multiple streams that when you look back at this season, and seasons prior, Hal Steinbrenner, he got booed at Old Timers game a couple of years ago, right? He got booed at the stadium when it was Derek Jeter night in the stadium when they was honoring Derek Jeter. Last year at the Old Timers game, instead of being at the stadium, he was over in Japan with Brian Cashman watching Yamamoto. And I think that goes a long way to trying to persuade a guy into signing with your team. And then when you look at the other reports that Yamamoto, he grew up a Yankee fan. He grew up a Tanaka fan. He grew up a Matsui fan. And the reports of him wanting to be in a big market and don't want to play second fiddle or secondary on a secondary team that's the little brother instead of the big brother. those right there, those are all signs that points that he wants to sign with the Yankees, right? Because if you don't want to go to a team and play second fiddle or be that second team in the city, you're not going to go to the Mets, no matter how much money Steve Cohen offers or gives you. You're not going to do that.
And it's not like a 2-hour flight or 90-minute flight to Bermuda. They were flying like 14 hours to the other side of the world for this guy every week. That to me means a lot. I mean, it would mean a lot to me. So, and I hope it means a lot to him. And I do think, this is a big thing in Japanese culture. I remember when I went over there, it wore my ass. One time I went, it was in Asia, and I was jacked up for like a weekend and a half afterward. So imagine them doing it every single week for this man. So that to me, I think it does mean a lot to him. And I do think the fact that they reserved number 18 for him, while the Mets are retiring number 18 in Darryl Strawberry. So the Yankees have a couple of things working in their favor here. And as much as people don't want to say, like, I know we've been told that the Yankees are front runner for like a month and a half now. Okay. And we obviously want a resolution to happen. We want this thing to be done already. I get it. But they're going to go at their pace. And if the agent who works for the player, if the money's not where he wants it to be, I think they're going to hold off a little longer until it's closer. Do I think it's going to get to 350? Like, my walkaway point is either paying more than Gerrit Cole per year or for the total money. I don't want either one. I don't care options or anything. I'm not going to give him more money than Gerrit Cole, period. That's my walkaway point. I would just pivot. And you can get, Shota Minaga and Blake Snell. Like, you can get and another reliever or something like that for the price of one Yamamoto. Yeah. So, and like then the question is, are you okay with the alternatives or a trade? Like, they could trade for a starter and a reliever from the White Sox to the Marlins, the Guardians. Like, you have a lot of things. And like you said, too, Jordan Duran, like, he'd be the gold mine. Or as would Emmanuel Clase, would be the gold mine to get for the bullpen. But we don't know if that'll happen.
Yeah.
Don't know.
No.
But that's my walkaway number, and I do think like $300 million for a guy that hasn't pitched in the major leagues not even once. That's a lot of money, man. You're playing with fire there. You're all playing with fire.
No,
it's not my fire. It's their money.
I was just about to say, you definitely are playing with fire, and you're at the casino gambling with house money, but it's not my house money, like you said, Jason. It's the Yankees money, right? And how Steinbrenner knows, as a businessman, the product that they put on the field last year wasn't good business whatsoever. Finishing the season 82-80, your fan base getting upset, some of the season ticket holders not renewing and not repurchasing their packages for this season. You got the first part out of the way when you traded for Juan Soto. All of us, we all wanted Juan Soto. We got Juan Soto. Now, when it comes to Yamamoto, get the deal done. Sign Yamamoto. I have confidence that Hal Steinbrenner will get the deal done when it comes to Yamamoto, and we will have a starting rotation of Gerrit Cole, Yamamoto, Carlos Rodon, Nestor Cortez, and either Frankie Montas or Clark Smith as that fifth starter. And to me, going into the season, that sounds like a solid rotation, Jason.
Yeah, I feel better with. I feel better with Yamamoto in there. And again, I could also see the logic of them not wanting to go over 300 because it might affect their ability to re-sign Soto or add other pieces. I get that. I get that. But again, not my money. I mean, it's easier said than done. But that said, I do like the sound of that rotation.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's not Frankie Montes. If you give Will Warren a shot, or Chase Hampton a shot, I'll be fine with that.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that going into the season. Guys, we got about 75 people in the building. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that like button for your guys. And if you're watching us for the first time and you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, because we will be constantly bringing you Yankees news, Knicks news, Jets news, and everything when it comes to New York sports. Talking Yanks, they also put it out there. You talked about it a little bit, how the Yankees are viewed by many still as the front runner. This is according to John Morosi. John Morosi says it's very likely that Yoshinobu Yamamoto will sign with a team by the end of the week. So you got some reports saying the end of the week, and you got other reports from Bob Clapper saying that this may extend past Christmas and past the New Year. Honestly, whenever it happens, it happens. We will report it here first. But when it comes to Yamamoto, this is a guy, and I've seen some people talk about this when it comes to his arm and the miles that he already has on his pitching on his arm pitching in Japan. Yes, he has pitched a lot of innings. Yes, he has a lot of complete games. But the one thing that Jason and I we have pointed out, and other Yankee content creators pointed out, when Yamamoto broke out in the MPB league, he was a reliever. He came out of the bullpen. This wasn't a guy that, like Daisuke Matsuzaka in high school, throwing 130 or 150 pitches in a game, or like Masahiro Tanaka, or like Yu Darvish. This was a guy who was a late bloomer. So yes, he may have some miles on his arms over the past few years, but when he was first coming up as a pitcher, he was a late bloomer. He was coming out of the bullpen, so he doesn't have that wear and tear on his arm. So I think his durability, I think he would be good over here in the States. What's your thoughts on that and people's concerns when it comes to his wear and tear, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the other questions I would have. Like, how many bullets does he have left in his arm? Well, to your point, like we pointed out, he probably has a lot of bullets left in his arm. Okay. Now, if you can get him on I don't think it'll happen, but if you can get him on a 9 or 10-year deal, okay. And that's a lot of bullets. But again, this is why we have long relievers. That's why I want to beef up the rest of the rotation, have long and good relievers, so that if he gets in trouble, you can get him out of there and bring in somebody like a Nestor Cortez or Caution or whatever. Somebody who can capably throw multiple innings, like a Luis Hill or whoever it might be, right? And this is where long relief comes into play, because it's a perfect bridge from the starting rotation to the short inning guys in the bullpen. And it helps protect the starters so that they're not wearing down, so that you don't feel like you have to keep them in there and get his ass kicked for 7 innings. You know what I mean? If he's not looking good, he's not feeling good, we have enough people here to offset that and still put the team in a position to win. So I do think they're going to do that. They're going to add some pitching depth in order to make that possible, because in fact, and they're used to pitching once a week. So it's going to be a little bit of an increase here at Yankee Stadium, and they have to give him time to adjust to that. So, which is why probably another starter, they may even go a 6-man rotation, or having enough long relievers makes sense for the Yankees. And I would definitely encourage them to keep doing that.
Yeah, no, I want to highlight some of the chats real quick. Shout out my guy Jeremy Fishman, who is in the building. My guy from the NNR Hour. If you guys missed the episode we had when we interviewed Jabba Chamberlain, make sure you guys go back and watch that episode, and make sure you go and watch all the different interviews we had. Our guy Jeremy Fishman really holds it down and helps us out tremendously with those interviews. Shout out to my guy Fishman, who's in the building. Truth Always is in the building. My guy Jonathan is in the building. The Strike Zone, my guy NFE is in the building. Damian Serrano, Anna Marie, who says, Yo, Shinobi Yoshi for Christmas. Sign me up, Anna Marie. I'm definitely right there with you. My guy Frankie Rivera said, if Yamamoto does sign in January, let's have a cease on speculating when he will, or where he will end up. No, I'm right there with you, Frankie, when it comes to that. The different news that comes out for Yamamoto. But if you're the Yankees, or if you're any other team that's trying to sign Yamamoto, you want to get it done sooner rather than later. You don't want this lingering, because you still have to fill out the rest of your roster. Jason, do you think Yamamoto's agent pushing this back will turn teams off, and they'll start pivoting to their second options so they can fill out their roster, so they don't have egg on their face when spring training comes?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Blake Snell's going to want to wait that long, right? He just won a damn Cy Young award. He shouldn't have to wait that long. So, and Jordan Montgomery, he might not want to wait that long either. So this could affect certain teams' ability to fill out the rest of their roster. Unfortunately for the Yankees, they've already added the offensive side. They boosted up the bats. So all they really need to do is focus now is on Yamamoto. And if they don't, there are trades that they could make. Those guys have not been traded yet. So, and they would fill in. I still think they would fill in the bullpen along the way, and they would be smart to. But they've already shown by their actions and have communicated that they will not hesitate to pivot.
Yeah.
If things don't go the way they want it to go, and they'll pivot and make other moves quickly. So whether it's 2 starters or a starter and reliever, whatever it might be, and they haven't done that I can't remember the last time they've done it. They usually miss out on the guys, and then say, "Oh, well, we tried to do our best." Well, we know you didn't try to do your best. So Now they're actually showing with their actions. They've already, they're having dialogue with certain people and so on. So, and they've communicated that they are willing to pivot really quickly. So I feel a lot better about the Yankees than I would about other teams. I don't know if the
Yeah.
Mets, like, what's the selling point for the Mets? Well, I promise you, in 3 to 4 years, we'll be a playoff team. We have to boost our farm. Like, okay, the Dodgers, the Dodgers, their three-headed monster is better, but our lineup is deeper.
Yeah.
Our lineup is deeper. And again, like, you could break it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, all segments of 3. Each group of 3, we can have a contact hitter and a power hitter in each one of them for the Yankees. Can't say that either. I don't know of another team that can say that. So Yankees, they're at an advantage now, even with some of the depth pieces they brought in. So I feel if they want to push this out and wait, I feel better about the Yankees than I do about other teams.
Yeah.
Whereas this is the first time I've said this in a while, so I'm happy to say that too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you when it comes to the Dodgers. The Dodgers, listen, Yankees and Dodgers in the World Series, that's a matchup that will, Hollywood stories can't even write a better story than that. But folks, we got 60 people in the building on YouTube. So if you guys can't smack that like button, we are sitting on 37 likes for the stream. Let's try to run it up to 60. That way we can continue the conversation and bring more people in. But Jason, I'm not going to pivot totally away from the Yamamoto conversation, but something that popped up on the radar that kind of threw me for a loop, and I was scratching my head like, what is this? The Yankees apparently are showing interest in Jorge Soler. What is your thoughts about this? Our guys over at Fireside Yankees, make sure you guys go over and follow them on Twitter. They put out great work out there. They said the Yankees are reportedly interested in slugger Jorge Soler. So the New York Yankees bring in the former World Series champ to the Bronx, and he won a World Series with the Atlanta Braves and with the Chicago Cubs when he was a youngster. Jason, what's your thoughts on this? Folks in the chat, let us know what's your thoughts on Jorge Soler.
Well, he's an outfielder and a DH, so one, I wouldn't even know where to play him. But my guess, and this is only a guess, is if they trade a bat for pitching, like Gleyber Torres, then it makes more sense to bring him in, right? Where to play him, I don't know. But I think the only way they would bring him in if they're going to give up a bat for pitching, a good bat. So otherwise, I think it's due diligence for the most part. Now, I can't say, like, there's no way to play. There's nowhere to play him in the outfield or even DH. Stanton's blocking him, like, so. This is where I think it's in an emergency move or like a backup in case they move a bat for pitching. And I think the moving a bat for pitching part happens in my opinion if they don't get Yamamoto. So this would be like, to me, it's like step 3. The Yamamoto decision, step 1. Trade a bat for pitching. If he doesn't sign, would be step 2. Replace the bat with Soler, step 3.
Yeah,
so he's as good of a bat as you can get. So
for me, when it comes to Soler, it makes me think that the Yankees, something has to be up with Giancarlo Stanton. The Yankees must be expecting Giancarlo Stanton to miss a big portion of the season if they're thinking about bringing in a guy who's an outfielder, most likely a DH, to be a bat in their lineup. This is a guy last year who hit 250, 36 home runs, and 75 RBIs. At the trade deadline, this was a target that I wanted the Yankees to target and try to get from the Marlins if they fell out of the playoff contentions. I know you and I, we had conversations about that. But if the Yankees are eyeing to a guy like Jorge Soler, who profiles more as a DH than an outfielder, something must be up with Giancarlo Stanton that none of us may be knowing about. What's your thoughts on that before I bring up my guy El Don Sicario to join us for the conversation?
If they don't trade a bat for pitching and they need to replace Stanton, he's the perfect guy to replace him with. Right? So you might be onto something there. I mean, we may find out later. Oh, Stanton has some lower body injury or whatever during his yoga class. I don't know what it is. Like, I know I've seen an image with him looking leaner already, which is great. But leaner's okay, but it doesn't necessarily mean healthier or being. The majority of his injuries have been lower body injuries. And from the waist up, he's the Incredible Hulk, but from the waist down, he's not, unfortunately. So, So I this is a good, and again, this is an example of the Yankees being prepared to, or at least communicating the fact that they'd be prepared for making a move like this in case they need to
Mm-hmm.
supplement their offense in a way to replace Giancarlo Stanton or something like that. So they have a piece that they can bring in already, and I don't think
Mm-hmm.
they would be afraid to bring him in if they needed to.
Yeah,
So
and it would be what, a 1 year deal or a 2 year deal for Jorge
maybe
Soler, and this is the guy. I don't think he's attached to a qualifying offer, so
no.
it makes it more appealing for the New York Yankees to try to get Jorge Soler if anything is up with Giancarlo Stanton. But hold your thought right there. I'm gonna bring up my guy El Don Sicario to the conversation. El Bordy, how you doing, my guy?
What's up? What's up? What up?
Chilling,
How the
baby.
What's up,
fellas
man?
doing?
Chilling,
Pretty
my guy.
good.
How you doing? Hope all is well. Hope the family is good, my guy.
Everybody good? How's everybody on
Yeah,
your
happy
side?
holidays, bro. Happy holidays, man.
Hey, same.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, we've been talking about obviously Yamamoto. We brought up Jorge Soler. I got this question I want to throw to you because somebody in the chat just put it there. Rakaya Channel just said percentage. How confident in you, Don Sicario, that Yamamoto will be joining the New York Yankees? I think this is a perfect question for you since you just joined us. What's your thoughts, Don?
I'm confident. I think it's gonna get done. I think the Yankees are the frontliners for it. All the check marks, of course, they're throwing out a bunch of stuff against the wall. But this guy, Yamamoto, seems like he's a respectable guy, honorable dude. The Yankees have been in Japan how many times? They've been
Bingo.
going
Every
over there.
week.
They've been every week. And of course, Cohen went over there. They did dinner, bro. Before every start of his game in Japan, he knew that the Yankees had scouts over there.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that relationship they've been creating throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
And now that we're here, all the check marks are saying that the Yankees are the front liners. I believe that. I think it's gonna get done. I think Yamamoto is gonna be a Yankee.
Heck,
That
sorry guys, I'm gonna run and bring in dinner. If I can hop back on, I'll hop back on.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Hold it
Jason. Do your
down.
thing, brother.
All right, man. All right,
All
talk
right.
to
Jake.
you guys later, bro.
Later,
Right.
my guy. Later, bro. Thanks for holding it down until Don Sicario got here. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm bringing up this Yamamoto thing right there. We got two reports, one from Bob Clappets, another one from John Morosi, who says the first one, teams bidding for Yamamoto, they have a growing sense that he won't sign until after Christmas, and it could stretch to at least January 4th past the New Year's. That's from Bob Clappets. But John Morosi reports that the Yankees are viewed by many as the front runner, like you just brought up. And John Morosi says that it's very likely that Yamamoto will sign with a team by the end of the week. So you got two different reports right there, Don Sicario. It's kind of hard nowadays who to trust. I know John Morosi was the same guy saying that Shohei Ohtani was going to go to the Toronto Blue Jays. So it's kind of hard to trust our guy John Morosi over there at the MLB Network. But ultimately, like, we've all been echoing, like different Yankee content creators have been echoing. Shout out to everybody that's out there that's putting out amazing Yankee content. But it's just we have a confidence that Yamamoto will sign with the Yankees, right? That's not us just being Yankee fans that are just too optimistic. That's not us shitting on Met fans or Dodgers fans. It's just when you look at the rumors and what Yamamoto wants, he wants a legacy team. He wants to be in a situation where
And he's a
all
Yankee
eyes
fan.
are on him. And he grew up a Yankee fan as well, Don Sicario. When he went to the Lakers game in November, he wasn't wearing a Dodgers hat. He was wearing a Yankee hat, my guy, to the Lakers game. If I'm coming from Japan and I'm rumored to be signing with other teams and I go to a Lakers game, I'm going to wear a Dodgers hat. I'm not going to wear a Yankee hat. I think him wearing a Yankee hat at that Lakers game was a statement he wanted to make, and it wasn't just by random.
Yeah, facts. No, I believe that. Yeah, listen, when the Yankees want their guy, they're gonna get their guy.
Mm-hmm.
They want this guy. They've made it clear. They've put the stamp on it, like they want this dude.
Mm-hmm.
And if Yamamoto wants to be the guy, like not like Ohtani. Ohtani was real low key. He didn't want everything's a secret. Just shh, everybody hush. Let me do. Nah, Yamamoto's the opposite. He wants that. He wants that smoke. So for him, he wants to be on the biggest stage. There's no other stage bigger than in Yankee Stadium. I don't care what Met fans say. I don't care what the Dodger fans say. The biggest stage is Yankee Stadium, and everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So
Even
for
if
Yamamoto,
even if it's not the old stadium, Yankee Stadium is still Yankee Stadium no matter what.
Yeah, facts. So I think it's only a matter of time. I think he's gonna be a Yankee. My
Yeah.
only concern though, like this goes into a whole bunch of different things. I'm not as worried about Yamamoto. I'm not that worried if whether or not we're gonna sign him or not. I'm worried if that signing Yamamoto is gonna interfere with extending Juan Soto. I see a lot of back and forth. I see people, with the pros, like how they can extend them, a bunch of contracts coming off the books.
Yeah, like
But then
100.
at
I
the
think it's
same,
$100 million that's coming off of the books over the next few years.
but then again, that old Yankee way, the past few years kind of ticks into my head and gives me that PTSD. And we're like, well, if they're gonna give this guy a contract, they're not gonna continue giving contracts out. So I don't know, but I think it does get done. I think the Yamamoto does get done.
Yeah, I think the Yamamoto gets done, and I think even with Juan Soto, I think the Yankees will do everything they can to try to keep Juan Soto. Right? It will be
As
a
they should.
PR nightmare, Don Sicario, if especially after this season, right? How Steinbrenner felt, the fans, and how upset they were after going 82-80. If we lose Juan Soto and he signs with the New York Mets or he signs with the Boston Red Sox, you think Yankee fans aren't going to be more upset than we were this past season? You can't tease us bringing Juan Soto just for one season and let him go to our rival, either the Mets or the Red Sox. You can't do that. That's a smack.
Bro, you're not gonna see. You won't see me. You won't see me for a solid 2 months. I'll deactivate my Twitter. Like I'll just be off. I mean, I'll be watching the games, but I'll be on the couch with a hoodie on, just miserable watching the game. Like shit.
Hold on, let's see. Cadzilla said, "Do you have the picture of him wearing the Yankee hat? The Lake only picture I saw is the Lake hat. He's not wearing a hat at all. I got it on my phone. If you just wait,
if you give me 20 minutes, I'll draw a picture of him wearing a hat in Lakers at the Lakers game. It's gonna be a stick figure, like.
Hold on 1 second. This was at the Lakers game when he was eating, like right after the game. So this is the picture that I have of Yamamoto in the Yankee hat right there eating after the game. So that's right there from me, from what I got. Like I said, that was after the Lakers game when they was eating nearby, but there are pictures of him at the game with the Yankee hat on as well. Cadzilla said, I've seen that one. Yeah, so if you go and look, there are other ones. Let me see if I got them in my phone.
There's a ton of pictures of him wearing Yankees hat. The fact that we can say that is telling. Like that's just the fact that we could pull up all these pictures of him wearing Yankees hats. I think that's enough for me.
I'm the same way. I think that's enough for me when it comes to that. I just want to bring up another topic, bro. Again, we got over 60 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button. The Ultimate Stilo is in the building with the Ultimate Warrior profile pic. What's up, fellas? Why does Don Zicko look like a slim version of Hector? Listen, we're lost family members. That's all it is. That's exactly what it is. And the funny thing is, I'm not wearing my glasses. If I put my glasses on, we look more like cousins than anything else. But
yeah,
my guy Stills, shout out to my guy Stills. Salute to you, Stills. My guy is hilarious. I want to bring up there's something else that was going on Twitter. The Yankees showing interest in Jorge Soler. Right before you came on, I was talking with Jason, and I said the only way that this makes sense is if the Yankees know that there's something up with Giancarlo Stanton, right? Yeah, you don't sign a guy like Jorge Soler, especially after you traded for Verdugo, after you traded for Soto. You got Trent Grissom, you got Jason Dominguez, who will be coming up during the season when he gets healthy back from Tommy John. But you don't sign a guy like Jorge Soler, who profiles more as a DH, if you don't know something is up with Giancarlo Stanton. What's your thoughts on that, Don Sicario?
Listen, unless they have a sneaky deal under the table for Stanton to get rid of him somehow. I mean, that's the only logic that I can see, that if maybe he's hurt or something. Because to get somebody like Soler, that's a DH. I mean, I would be all for it. That guy can mash, but
yeah,
I don't see it happening. I don't understand how it would work. Where is he going to play? Like with Stanton there clogging up the DH.
And it's not like this is a guy who's a Gold Glove defender who's won multiple Gold Gloves that you could put him in left field and be okay with that. No, like I said, this is a guy who profiles more as a DH more than anything. And like you said, when he comes to his bat, he hit 250 last year. He had 36 home runs, 75 RBIs. He won a World Series with the Braves. He was a big piece in that of that Brave team that won a World Series. And he won a World Series when he was a youngster with the Chicago Cubs. So this is a guy who's tasted postseason and who's tasted a postseason and who has had success in the postseason. But like you and I both said, it just where is he going to play?
Doesn't add up right now.
It doesn't add up. The math is not mathing, as the young kids say.
It would be dope. It would be dope. But how? I don't know how. You know, Stanton once again. I mean, I like Stanton. I'm rooting for him this year, but you know.
Chris the Flash, what is good, my guy? I didn't see your question. I'll pull up your question right now. Chris the Flash says, do you think once Yamamoto signed, do we trade for Dylan Cease? Now, this is a guy, Dylan Cease, with the Chicago White Sox, who he's had success, but at the same time, he's been on the bad side also. He's had some seasons that weren't the best. I'm not sure if it's just where he's at with the White Sox that he needs a change of scenery, like Kenyon Middleton. When we brought him over, he had amazing success pitching to an ERA under 3 with the Yankees. Dylan Cease, I'm not sure what's going to with Matt Blake, maybe, but it may take some pieces from the minor league system to actually get this guy. What's your thoughts on Dylan Cease? And this may be a plan B if we lose out on Yamamoto. What's your thoughts on Cease, bro?
Man, I'd be all for it. With Matt Blake, I think Matt Blake could fix him. You know, I know we say that all the time with everybody. Matt Blake, the mad genius, can fix everyone, but the guy he's shown that he can be a really good, reliable pitcher. Maybe if we sneak in, because it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a few prospects for him. Maybe if we try to snag, you know, Moncada or maybe one of their relief pitchers. I mean, I could see them trying to go for that if they don't get Yamamoto.
Yeah.
But at this point, I've heard that Dylan Cease news once from one check mark, and then it started being recycled. There's not a lot of news about what the plan B is for the Yankees. A lot of the stuff we're seeing, it's just a bunch of stuff thrown against the wall. There's no, they're not connected to Snell. They're not connected to Monty. I mean, I did see a Monty, but I don't think I don't know if that will happen or not.
Yeah.
They're all in on Yamamoto, man. Until Yamamoto signs, which it's going to be with us, I'm assuming. I'm going to just go ahead and say it like that. But I would be all for it. For Cease, I would like for the man, Ruben. Shout out to my guy, Ruben. He's got me convinced for Moncada. He's talked to me about this a while ago, and I was like, I don't know. As time gets closer, I've been thinking about it, kind of checking out video, checking the numbers, and it's like, I think I could see that happen. Why not?
Yeah. Listen, I think Moncada is a phenomenal play as well, but I just don't know. We just don't know. We're not in that room with the Yankees, right? So we don't know the conversations that they are having. But from the reports that are out there, like you said, the Yankees, they haven't been on anyone else but Yamamoto. So I think the Yankees, from what we're seeing, it's Yamamoto or bust for the New York Yankees. It's either to get Yamamoto or they don't get Yamamoto, right? And then they'll figure out plan B afterwards. And I think as a Yankee fan, you have to like that. Like Don Sicario said, you have to love the fact that the Yankees are all in on Yamamoto and they are not backing down. Like I said, Steve Cohen, he can offer and he can sign whatever contract for any player that is out there. Cool. We understand Yamamoto. He's going to get a historic contract, right? No matter from what team, whether it be the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets, or whoever else, he's going to get a historic contract. But what do the other teams have to offer him that the New York Yankees can't offer him? Because when it comes to legacy, when it comes to tradition, when it comes to you being able to monetize off the field, when it comes to sponsorships and ad revenue off of the field, there's no other team like the New York Yankees.
Facts. And he'd be the only Japanese player on the Yankees right now. If he goes to the Mets, they have a Japanese dude. If he goes to the Dodgers, they got in the Dodgers especially, he's gonna be under Ohtani his entire career there. From what we're hearing, he's tired of he wants to be in the big team. He wants to be in the limelight. He wants to be in the star team. Bro, you come to New York, to the Yankees, he's gonna be the guy. He's gonna be the Japanese guy, the Japanese star. And you know how much money he's gonna make? He can make money with the Mets, but you will not make with all the other sponsorships and stuff with the Yankees. Especially in Japan. There's a lot of Yankee fans in Japan. A lot of Yankee hats over there. Like, I think he knows what's up. I don't know what they're waiting for. Maybe they're trying to match some type of numbers up, but it's in my opinion, I think it's gonna be the Yankees.
No, I'm right there with you. You know, you see Tyler Glasnow trying to pitch and make a pitch for him to sign with the Dodgers after he signed that contract extension. But I think when it comes down to it, it's going to be the Yankees. I just have all the confidence in the world. And folks out there, you know, if you guys can, we got 50 people in the building. Like my guy Blood of the Panther said, smack that like button for your boys. Let's see my guy Jeremy Fishman, who says, I think I can count on one hand how many times the Yankees have been outbid. Most notable, Cano. The Yankees want him bad enough, they will get him. And that's a fact. When was the last time you saw the Yankees lose out on a free agent that they were targeting to the Mets? When was the last time?
But it's Steve Cohen is different. No, it's not. No,
it's still the Mets. I think the last time, you know, and Salicata brought this up. Shout out to Salicata. But he brought this up. He's like, the Yankees and Mets were both trying to get Carlos Beltran, and he signed with the Mets. But the one thing people forget is that Carlos Beltran wanted to be a Yankee. He was willing to take $50 million less to join the Yankees. Before he signed that contract with the New York Mets, him and his agent at the time, who was Scott Boras, they called the Yankees and they told the Yankees he's willing to take $50 million less. The Yankees decided to go a different route. They traded for Randy Johnson, gave him a contract extension, which I thought was horrible. We should have signed Carlos Beltran. But listen,
the Mets wanted him more. Let's put it like that.
They needed him more. They needed him more. They needed him more. And even so, you know, that first season with the Mets, the fan base was booing him, and he didn't like that. He was having back and forth with the Mets fans until Carlos Delgado got to Queens that they started embracing Carlos Beltran. So listen, if history could rewrite itself, I definitely would want Carlos Beltran in a Yankees uniform. I want to bring something else up because Jose Trevino has been making his rounds. I know this is just a minor thing, but we got to talk about Yankees catcher Jose Trevino, who was recovering from wrist surgery, and you know he caught up with the Yes Network. Let me bring up the footage right now. Let me see if I can find that for you guys. Hold on one second, Jose Trevino, and also shout out to my guy Frank Luna. We will be doing a giveaway on the channel where you guys can enter in for a chance to win some Jose Trevino signed merchandise. I know my guy Don Sicario was the winner of the last giveaway we did with Frank Luna, and he got that package from Frankie Boy. But I'm gonna share this real quick just so we can hear Jose Trevino and his words right now. Just give me 1 second, folks. Let me see if you can hear it. Can you hear it, Don Sicario?
Nope. I don't know if they hear it. I don't hear it.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, right there. Bingo. All right, this is Jose Trevino talking to Bob Lawrence on the Yes Network.
Fans want to know after your wrist surgery, where are you at right now? Are you 100% heading into spring training?
Yeah, I feel really good. I'm feeling very good. I'm excited. You know, I missed a lot of time playing baseball, so I'm getting the itch already, and we're not even at Christmas yet. So I'm excited to get down to Florida, get going, and see all the teammates, see all the fans.
Now that was earlier from Jose Trevino. This was from December 18th, yesterday, basically. But I'm gonna tell you guys this: my guy Frank Luna, who you know is helping us with the giveaway, he had an event with Jose Trevino, and I can't give you all the details from the conversation they had. But what Frank told me is that Jose Trevino is ready to go. That dude is a savage. That dude in between going to that event and going to his hotel after Frank picked him up from the airport, he literally went right to the batting cage with Todd Frazier with his brace on his wrist, trying to get some tee work in, trying to get some cage work in to get ready for the season. Listen, I know we got Austin Wells, a nice young kid, nice young prospect, but I think Jose Trevino will put that fire under Austin Wells behind to get the best out of Austin Wells. And I think Jose Trevino will be a nice mentor to Austin Wells during the season and spring training. What's your expectation? Yeah, what's your expectation for Jose Trevino? Folks in the chat, let us know as well.
Man, with the way he seems hungry, we might get that Trevino that came in hot, you know, just the defense. There's no issues with the defense. It's the bat, if he's going to hit or not. With the way he's hungry, with the way he's been out of baseball for a bit, I think he's going to go in there hungry. You know what I'm saying? And I think he'll probably get hot or he's going to struggle, but at least his defense and his catching, we won't have any issues with that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And my guy Gary Phillips on Twitter said, Aaron Boone said that Anthony Rizzo, Aaron Judge, Nestor Cortez, Jason Dominguez, and Jose Trevino are all doing well in regards to their injuries, coming back and rehabbing. So if you're a Yankee fan, you got to feel excited about that, especially seeing in the offseason Anthony Rizzo working out with Aaron Judge's hitting coach and hitting guru over there. You got to feel excited that this season you're going to get a bounce back from Anthony Rizzo. You may get a bounce back from Jose Trevino. You're definitely going to see what you can from the Martian, but you got to feel confident that our aging and injured Yankees will come back with a full vengeance next season. What's your thoughts, Don?
I think this is going to be that perfect combination of the veterans and the babies and the young Padawans. Like this is it seems like it's getting put together. And we got Juan Soto. You know, if we get Yamamoto, I think it's going to work. I think it's going to mesh good. You know, a healthy Rizzo before Tatis came and wrecked everything and called mayhem in the Bronx. He was playing. He was really good. Like he was playing good. If we can get that back, and now he's working with Judge's guy, I mean, I have a question. I don't know why the Yankees haven't involved that dude with all the hitters.
You got to look. You got to look at it like this. If you're him, right, Don Sicario, and you have your training facility on your property, because it's different if he was a young guy. This guy, he's up there in age. He's like 60, borderline 70 years old. So if you're him, and you have your training facility on your property and you're already fine with the money that you make and you're comfortable with your lifestyle, are you willing to give that up to travel with the Yankees 6-8 months out the year on the road? I'm not sure. It'd be a difference.
Me personally, though?
I'm there. But if you were him, I said, and you had everything just on your property and just comfortable with your lifestyle, it'd be a difference if hitting coaches in the major league was making $1 million, $1.5 or $2 million. That's difference. When you have hitting coaches making $500,000, $700,000, and you already make over $1 million with what you have, it's not that much to entice you to go on the road with the Yankees for 6 to 8 months out the season.
But can you imagine his brand after, like, let's say he gets on board with the Yankees and all of a sudden this offense is just like a breakout offense? You know what that would do to his brand with the amount of hitting coaches that have come and gone, and then all of a sudden he steps in and the Yankees will become like the Yankees again and they're hitting. His brand will become like, he's going to blow up even more than what it is now. But I get it, though. He OG. He's not going to want to travel.
You know, at least for spring training, bring him in as a special advisor, right? Just for spring training. Folks, I'm going to bring up my guy, NYY's News, El Numero Uno, my guy, Ruben, who's in the building. Ruben, how you doing? Where's my guy at? There he is.
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Chilling, Bob. Sorry we started early, you know, but glad that you were here to join us for the conversation, Ruben. How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. So I missed that first part of the question. I was like, hold on, who are we talking about hitting coach here?
No, we're talking about Judge's hitting coach. And Don Sicario was wondering, this is something that I was scratching my head with as well. Why haven't the Yankees brought him in?
Hold up.
Se cortó.
So,
That's Brian Cashman right there saying, "Córtalo."
he basically, we were talking about why the Yankees haven't brought in Aaron Judge's hitting coach, or I don't know his name, but why they haven't, because right now he's working with Rizzo.
Yeah, they
So
call him teacher man.
why haven't they brought him in? So Hector was kind of saying like, oh, there we go, we got him back.
There we go.
He was saying basically why, like, since he's older, he's established, like, why would he travel with the team and whatnot? So we were kind of in that ballpark of the conversation. Like,
yeah, I mean, as far as I know, the coach did mention that he doesn't want to be a team employee, so he's pretty much fine with just doing what he's
like,
doing.
I'm a boss, son. You're telling me I'm gonna work for you? You don't know me, fool.
And plus, I mean, he's already getting major leaguers as it is. The moment that Aaron Judge became his guy, that's automatically, that was it. That's all he needed. Because once you got
imagine the
Judge,
brand, if you get the whole Yankees team rolling, imagine what that'll do to his brand.
Yeah, pero está viejo, bro.
Ruben, like I told him, it'd be different, right? If hitting coaches in the major leagues, if they were making 1.5 million, 2 million, it'd be different. But nowadays, hitting coaches, and I'm not scaffing or making light of this number because it is more money than I have ever seen in my life. But it'd be different if he wasn't making $500,000 as a hitting coach and making $2 million, right? So as someone who's in his age, 60 to 70 years old, he's comfortable where he's at. All of his training facilities on his property. He doesn't have to worry about going too far. So why is he going to travel with the Yankees for 6 to 8 months?
He needs to send his best protege, whoever his next guy in line is. Send that
could work. That could work.
Send
See,
that
he could draw a connection and be like, "Yo, this is my young guy. Like, this is a guy you can go to." See, I can see something like that. But and then
my next in command, right?
I did catch a little bit of, like, because I was like checking my notifications and everything, making sure I didn't miss the Yamamoto news or something. I caught a little bit of you guys talking about Trevino. And so what was like the full question about Trevino and like the offense?
So when it comes to Jose Trevino, he was having a conversation on the Yes Network yesterday, just showing that he's ready to come back, and he's working off of his surgery that he had on his wrist. My guy Frank Luna, who we're going to be doing a giveaway with on the channel, he had an event with Jose Trevino some time back, and he told me he picked up Trevino from the airport, brought him to the hotel, and he told me that Jose Trevino, he is ready to go. That this guy, he brought him to the batting cage with Todd Frazier, even with his wristband on, or even with whatever he has on his wrist, he is ready to go. And he's going to be a big, he's going to try to push Austin Wells this spring training and try to battle for that position, for that everyday catcher role. So we were just asking, what's your expectations for Jose Trevino going into the season?
To be honest, I think he's going to be solid. I mean, offensively, like, I like the bat that he had in the first half of 2022. He was a nice contact bat, didn't strike out a lot. Yeah, he didn't walk a ton, but at least he was hitting for a decent average, with some kind of decent pop and everything, Hey, how's it going, Jacob? But when it comes to Trevino, like, I think it's going to be hard for Wells to instantly what's up, LA?
Yeah.
To instantly, like, take that spot from him, because Trevino, let's not forget, he was also a platinum glove. So with him being a platinum glove and also hitting for a decent average, lower in the order, hitting some walk-offs, I think he's gonna show that, like, hey, I can still provide something. So I think what'll end up happening, we'll probably see a 50-50 split for most of the season, unless if one of them just takes it by the horns, you know what I mean? Like, it's just saying, all of a sudden they become all-star, like, offensive monsters, you know what I mean? So, but I think we can probably expect to see maybe a 260, 270 average from both catchers.
Yeah,
just the influence alone of him being there for Wells.
Oh yeah,
That's
and
good enough for me.
in 2022 when he won the Platinum Glove, and this is something that I remember Dane was talking about. Shout out Dane. That the scouts that he talked to that year in 2022, they rated, and this is why a lot of the whole hoopla about Wells catching not being a little bit iffy to me never made much sense because he had everything minus the arm.
Yeah.
So, and his blocking got way better this year. But the previous year in 2022, they said that his framing basically was the same as Trevino in the minors that year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, to me, when like those two in framing, I wouldn't be surprised if those are top two in the league in framing for 2024.
Wow.
I don't remember the last time the Yankees probably had two backup catchers that you could say that for. It was either one or the other. It's either we had Gary Sanchez, who was all offense, and a backup catcher who was defense. And then even when we had Jose Trevino and Kyle Higashioka, we leaned more towards Trevino because of that glove that he had, and whatever pop you got out of Higashioka, you got out of Higashioka, and you could take it. Ruben, I want to ask you because Aiden in the chat just brought it up, and shout out to Aiden Diwali. Shout out Michael Caputis. LI Yankee King is also in the building. My guy David Cohen, how you doing? 01LS1Z2ADABX. How you doing, my guy? Salute.
Damn.
But Ruben, want to ask you, I know that's a long ass username, but I love it.
I look
But
like
Ruben,
a gamer tag.
wanna ask you, Ruben, when it comes to Jorge Soler, Yankees are showing interest in Jorge Soler. What is your thoughts about that, and where the hell is he going to play?
Are they trading Stanton?
That's the only way it makes sense.
That makes zero sense unless they're trading Stanton, honestly, bro. Because
or what? My fault. Go ahead.
you know, I was gonna end up because it's not much of a conversation for me. Because unless if he's playing right field and DH, but then we got Soto, we got Judge for that, and we got Stanton for that too. So it doesn't. I just don't see it. I mean, unless if somehow they had a trade down where like this, Stanton says, "Okay, go ahead and trade me." But besides that, I just don't see the fit.
It just makes no sense. Even if you wanted to platoon him out there in right field with Verdugo, you still have other options that you traded for, right? So it just makes no sense when it comes to Jorge Soler. What are you going to give him 1 year at what, 20 million, 15 million, 18 million? That's what he's going to be asking for.
He's going to be asking for at least 2 to 3 years because, I mean, he had a decent year with the Marlins this past year, too, like Pop and everything, with the average being at least 250. And that's with him getting hurt for a moment because at a certain point, he was in about 260, 270 on pace to have 40 home runs this year. So,
folks, we got over 50 people in the building, and we are sitting on 49 likes. So if you can, smack that like button. Go ahead, Ruben.
Son.
Smack that like button.
You know what, too, Ruben? Before we got on, Hector was talking to Jason, and they were talking about maybe this could be something that maybe for all we know, there's something wrong with Stanton.
Yeah, maybe that the Yankees know that we don't know.
No, I doubt
it. That could be something too. So I don't know. It don't make sense to me.
I doubt it because with all the oh my god, he's gonna be leaner and be a legitimate outfield option this year, not just to throw out there, but play real defense, as Boone said, right? So I don't think they would be doing all this, you know, talking about Stanton in a certain way, if it meant that, you know, he's hurt still.
I think it could be. I think this could be just something that they threw against the wall to see if it sticks. Like that's all we're seeing this offseason. A bunch of like, I heard they're interested in this guy. For a moment, the Yankees were all in for Bellinger. Remember, they were like, oh, the Bellinger's connect. Now they're like, they don't really like his exit. You know, like I don't know. Cover your ears, Ruben.
And that is so annoying. The exit velo conversation is dumb to me because like not everyone has to be an exit velo monster. Because at the end of the day, like you just gotta make sure you put the ball where no one ain't there to catch it. And this guy, he cut down his strikeouts back to his MVP year. His strikeout percentage is back down to those levels. And if he didn't miss the 30 games that he did, he was on pace to basically hit 36, 38 home runs for the year.
Ruben, and I
think
ran for his boy.
I'm telling you,
he's
bro.
going. He's ready to
That's
fight for his
done.
guy. But
No,
Ruben
because-
also too with
Mhm.
2 strikes, wasn't he? Didn't he have like a 290 batting average with
Yeah,
2 strikes?
he led the league with a 280 2 strike batting average. So yeah, 280 with strikes. The guy overall, like defensively, he's a Gold Glover, bro. And like to me,
Mhm.
like some people were saying, oh, Boris was crazy saying that he's like Harper and like Seager. No, he's legit because
Yeah.
he fixed his approach. He said, look, no, I went back to my contact approach. I went and fixed my swing, and I wanted to make sure I got back to what I was when they interviewed him. He's like, I wanted to his situationally. So
He's
this guy,
healthy now too.
he's healthy. Like, because like his shoulder injury that he had, remember, he dislocated his shoulders and he had to get surgery on them.
In the dumbest way. That was
Yeah,
the
and-
dumbest,
Stupid.
dumbest way.
And it took him a while to get it. And then also, you know, for a while, it took players to understand the launch angle stuff. What does it mean? Do I have to increase it to hit more home runs? And then they find out, no, you don't, because it's not. And launch angle is only to make slight adjustments for certain players, and not every player needs to have a certain launch angle to hit home runs. As
Mhm.
we've seen with Stan, he can hit home runs with the best of them, and he almost got a borderline negative one, but he's a freak of nature. That's different.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like he's one guy. Okay, lift it up a little bit more so that we can hit in double plays all the time like you always do. So like with Bellinger, it's like no, drop it down because he was uppercutting way even more than what his natural swing was, and that came with strikeouts and basically came in with like pop ups, especially with how his swing was because his swing is violent through the zone going up. So, but like to me, I would love if the Yankees somehow snuck in and did a sure thing with him. But besides that, like any team that gets him, they're gonna get the money's worth with Bellinger, in my opinion.
The bus is in the building who says Soler as what, a bench player or a pinch hitter? Facts.
Yeah.
There's no
weird.
place to put him. The bus. Also, let us know if this is your first time in the chat. If this is your first time in the chat, welcome the bus to the familiar folks in the chat. You already know what to do. Fellas, I just want to play a clip real quick. This is just off topic. No, Soler is a righty also, which makes no sense. We need more lefties in that
Exactly.
lineup more than anything else.
He
If
can match,
Soler
though.
was a lefty, it'd be different, right? Just like I said, if Clint Frazier was a lefty, it would probably work
Gleyber
out
was a
here
lefty.
with the If Gleyber was a lefty, the Yankees wouldn't be trying to get rid of Gleyber Torres.
Yep.
But I want to play a clip for you fellas. Not sure if you guys saw the interview we had with Jabba Chamberlain, but we were talking about the facial hair conversation, and I want to play what Jabba said because the facial hair issue is just something that Yankee fans have been talking about this entire offseason. I'm going to play the clip for you guys and for the folks in the chat, and when we come back, we will have the conversation when it comes to the Yankees facial hair policy.
Like, I disagree with it because it's part of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to grow a beard, if you don't want to grow a beard, but I'm a grown ass man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't tell me what I'm supposed to do, and I have to do it.
Facts.
So of course I'm not gonna shave at that point. And yeah, it's just let the guys be the guys. Like they're the ones making you the money and winning. Like, and if I feel sexy and if I grow it out, then I play better.
A grown and
Feel
sexy
good,
facial
play
hair. Let's go. There you go, Oakley Turner. All right, guys.
All right, so that was his thoughts about the facial hair. Wasn't a big fan of it. I'm gonna ask you guys. I'll start off with you, Ruben. What's your thoughts about the facial hair policy? Anna Marie says modify the facial hair policy. Nice, clean cut beards. It's okay. Facts. You know what I mean? You got to shape up like me, like Don Sicario, like Ruben. You'll be able to rock it. Just don't be out here looking like Brandon Marsh, looking like you begging for
I need
pennies
somebody that
on the
has
Grand Concourse.
the gentleman mustache, you know, the one that goes up like a villain, like a
I can't do that. I can never do that.
If
I can never do that.
Becomes a Yankee, I think he'll do it.
Yeah, that one's allowed. That one's allowed. They'll do that one.
I'd be lying if I didn't say I put that on my Road to the Show guy and I'm gonna be the show.
That's exactly what I did too. Ruben, what's your thoughts on the facial hair policy? How do you feel about it? And then throw it over to Don Sicario to get his take on it as well.
I don't think it's that big of an issue. I know some people, you know, use the whole like Jabba was saying, you know, like let the guys be guys and da. But at the end of the day, if the Yankees were winning World Series, nobody cares. Players would sign there, no problem. They would perform, however they got to perform. And granted, yeah, you got to feel good and all that stuff. But at a certain point, shouldn't you have more pride to be a Yankee over the pride of your beard for during the season? Now, the caveat on that, again, I'm not against altering it and having a clean shave, like clean beard, and like organized. So I'm for that. But at the same time, I'm like, I mean, you're putting the piss straps on, dude. And if we're winning, who cares? You know what I mean? But that's the problem. We're not winning. So that if people are now bringing it up, this is why we can't get people to come in. They like to play ball
because they can't have a beard.
And it's like it's not. And it's like, no, it's not the beard. It's the fact that Cashman said we can put $45 million in 3 bullpen arms over putting $25 million a year on Bryce Harper. That's the difference right there. And it's not the beard policy. It's the fact of who's putting up the team together. Because Bryce Harper shaved his beard, saying, "Hey, look, I'm ready for y'all." And
Ruben's dying to rant. Ruben, you're dying to rant, and I'm all for it.
Same. I'm all for it. I'm all for Ruben rant right now about the facial hair. Don Sicario, what's your thoughts when it comes to the facial hair policy?
To be honest, I'm 50-50. I love the culture of the Yankees. I love that, the militant style that they, I do have a beard. I've had a long beard. I've cut it. I've done it all. But I like the fact that, it's kind of like a sacrifice, right? To put on that pinstripe. You got to keep up that clean look. And a lot of the players, there's some players that are like, oh, I think it's stupid. But that's once they're out of the Yankees, because when they're there, they're doing it. Like a lot of people say, we're happy to be here. Like it's nothing. Like some of the players get it. They get that part of the culture for the Yankees. So, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I feel like in about maybe in the very near future, that thing is going to change with the way things are now. Like everything has changed so much that I think eventually the Yankees will let players have. I mean, if you see that picture, I tweeted, I don't know if you saw it, a picture of Judge and Glaber. Judge is with the beard, kind of like, you know what I mean, short, bro. He looks like a monster. And then let's not forget Garrett Cole with the beard. Garrett Cole with his beard and a little bit of long hair was a different type of animal.
That was a good beard. That was a good beard.
Oh, he looked mean. Now he looks real classy. He looks like he's in a meeting. And
hey, no. It changes the like. You just don't have him talk. Don't have him talk. Like he has because he has the beard and you're thinking, damn, this guy's like, and then without the beard, it's like, well, Marley.
Listen, when it comes for me, and I've said this before, I've worked at, I'm not sure about you guys, but I've worked at places where I had to shave every day, right? I worked at restaurants from when I was like 16, 17 years old, and I always had to shave when I worked in the back, when I worked in the front of house as a host, as a server as well. I always had to shave as a bartender. So I get it. It's part of the job. It was so bad that the stepson at Lombardi's Pizza, where I used to work at, used to sit at the bar every morning. And if you walked in with just a little bit of stubble on your face, he's giving you $2 to go to the bodega to buy a disposable razor to go shave at the bathroom. That's how bad it was at the restaurant I used to work at. But at the same time, right now in 2023, I went down to the restaurant to go eat. Now they let people wear their beards. I felt some type of way. I'm going to tell you that right now. I felt some type of way. So it may be some like David Wells. If the Yankees got rid of their facial hair policy, he may be the first person complaining about it, or Robinson Cano, or whatever former Yankee who was upset about the facial hair policy may come out complaining about it. But for me, it don't make that much of a difference as long as it's clean cut. You keep it in shape. You're not out there looking like Brandon Marsh. Maybe over the past 20 years, I was gonna say over the past 20 years or 30 years, there's only been 2 players that they've come out openly saying that they wouldn't sign with the Yankees because of the facial hair policy, and that was Brian Wilson, the closer from the Giants, and David Price right before he became a free agent. So those are the only 2 players that I could point to that said that they would never sign with the Yankees because of their facial hair policy. So
I think Luis Castillo didn't want to be a Yankee either because he would have to cut his dreads,
his locks. Yeah, he didn't want to cut his locks.
Tweet that, and And I know a lot of people. I don't know if it was somebody or maybe just a nobody that was tuning that, but if you think about it, during that time, you think Luis Castillo wanted? He probably, of course, would like to go. I know he doesn't have a choice, but imagine him begging, like, "Yo, don't trade me over there. If they trade me, I'm gonna have to cut my hand." And think about it, you're gonna get better, bro. You're gonna get better prospects. Like, don't even don't trade me over there.
Remember Andrew Cashner was traded from San Diego to the Marlins, I think it was. And I think at that time they were trying to be the mini Yankees, and they did the beard thing, and you had to shave it. And he said, "Man, after I shave that thing, I make sure that don't." I told my agent, "I ain't going to no team that makes me shave my beard."
Hey, for some people, it's their line in the sand that they don't want to cross, and I guess from other people, they just really don't care. Because, like you said, you point out Aaron Judge, and Aaron Judge, it looks like his doppelganger, right? Whenever you see him with a beard, it looks like the evil twin of Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Because during the season, when he's clean cut, my man looked like the prototypical Christian good boy. I ain't doing nothing bad.
The
But in the
GQ with the
offseason,
pucks and everything.
exactly. In the offseason, my man is down to clown out there on the town.
Hey, you got put the biker jacket on, and having sitting on a Harley or something.
Yeah.
You know what the best part of all of this is, though?
What's up?
Juan Soto doesn't care about the beard.
No.
He's so clean. He doesn't need it.
And that's what I was gonna say. That's another thing too. At the end of the day, which real star, like big time star, has said no, they wouldn't shave?
I named you two guys, and they weren't like top star. Maybe David Price was one of the top pitchers in the league at the time, but he went on a down. Yeah. His career went on a downturn when he signed that contract.
And plus, he's pitched horrible in New York, so there's no reason to even try to sign him to pitch in New York.
Yeah. But no, that's Price and Wilson. Those are the only two players that I could remember. Besides that, I don't see anyone else. Maybe Luis Castillo. That's about it.
Because they were stars, but were they like the ones that you're like, this is the guy that's gonna carry us for the next 10 years? No, they weren't. So when it comes to the Yankees going after the legitimate, we see this guy as being a big pillar for us. It hasn't happened where I'm not going to you because of the beard policy.
Yeah. I've never seen Juan Soto with a beard or anything. I don't know if he's had a little chin strap.
I've never seen him with it. He's probably like he's so baby face, dude. He probably barely grows a stubble.
Yeah, I think he's like Patchy McGee. I don't think he has like a full beard. I think that's literally what it is when it comes to Soto. But Ruben, since you joined us in the conversation, Don Sicario, I know you said your time was limited here, so we're just gonna respect your time and everything like that. But I want to get Ruben's take when it comes to Yamamoto. So I'm gonna bring this up real quick. You got both reports, one from Talking Yankees from John Morosi, who says that the Yankees are viewed as a front runner and how Yamamoto will sign with a team by the end of the week. But then you got Bob Clappets talking about some people who are involved in the conversations think that this Yamamoto thing is going to go past Christmas and maybe past the New Year's. Ruben, what's your thoughts on that? I know Michael Caputo is losing his mind in the chat when it comes to Yamamoto maybe and the Yankees, but what's your thoughts, Rubes?
No, Caputo, they don't need to move on. My take on it, shoot, I want to believe John Morosi. I know he had the whole, Arson Judge 2.0 situation going on. But I just can't see this going into the new year, bro. You've met with the teams, the negotiations have been there. Just go, man. Just get it done already. It's Christmas is starting in Japan. They love Christmas over there. Get this team already.
How's the confidence level? Like how Hector asked me, what's your confidence level? If you become or not?
Oh, 10.
10 out of 10? Yeah. That's my guy.
It's a 10. The guy wants the biggest lights, and the biggest lights are in New York and not with the Mets.
To Queens. You didn't hear? We got
fuck out of here.
Man, that boy.
No, there was a tweet out there, and I shared it with you, where it said that the Mets are like the guy that got a whole bunch of money and still can't find a date.
Oh, yeah.
The Mets are like the San Francisco Giants. That's what the Mets are like that. Nobody wants to take their money. My guy Mark T-Maker, he makes a perfect point. This is something I was talking about with Jason, who says, I can't believe Yamamoto will go past this Friday. But if he does, he's screwing up free agency for all the
100.
other teams. And I definitely agree with you, Mark, right there. Shout out to my guy, Mark. Jay, I'll get to your question as well. But when you look at it, yes, Yamamoto is the prize that you want to get, but you still have the rest of your roster to fill out. You can't just sit back and wait to see what happens with Yamamoto. You need to start pivoting right now and start building your entire team. And it may be hard because teams may be holding back that money to go all in on Yamamoto. But if Yamamoto pushes his back, he may start messing up the timeline for other teams. Ruben, I'll start with you and throw it to Don Sicario. What's your thoughts on Mark T. Maker question right there?
No, I mean it's true. I mean, too many of the big free agents are waiting on Yamamoto, and at a certain point, some of these guys are gonna tell the agents, "Yo, start the conversations now and let's get this done and over with," because we don't want to start the new year going into January and not having a team. Because at this point, waiting for I think it would be irresponsible by the agent to wait and to engage these teams because you want to see where Yamamoto lands in the contract. Go do your thing. Go separately, get to what's best available at the moment, and get locked up. You know, that way the player has time to settle in the offseason. If that player is not settled in the offseason soon enough, that first year can be rocky for them in that transition period.
Yeah.
So at this point, just make sure that you get your team. You say, hey, what are you looking at? What's your offer? Look at the Phillies. They got their guy 25 for 7 years. 25 AAV for 7 years. Boom, done deal. Move. Let's move. Go to the next one. At this point, they can't keep waiting on Yamamoto. Yamamoto's his own thing. So if I'm the agents, hey, start moving in and tell these teams, who do you want? Because the first one that gives anywhere close to what we're asking for, we're going.
Yeah. Don Sicario, same question going your way. What's your thoughts on what Mark T. Maker said? And if you're watching us over on Instagram, click the link in the bio and jump on over to YouTube. My guy Yanni on Instagram just said, stop the nonsense. He is going to the Mets. Don Sicario, what's your thoughts on the question that Mark T. Maker promoted?
Hold up. Before we get into that, he's going to the Mets. Oh, he's going to. Yo, I heard. From what I've heard so far this offseason, Ohtani was going to be a Met. Juan Soto was going to be a Met. And you're really going to sit here and think that I'm going to believe that now Yamamoto's going to be a Met? Why? Because Steve Cohen feels like he's up against the ropes? Bobby, the Yankees are the Yankees no matter what. You think they're going to just fold because Steve Cohen got dough? Guess what? The Yankees got dough too. They're not going to – they've never folded against the Mets. It's not going to start now.
Let's not forget also, Ohtani didn't even pick up the phone and call Cohen. He said, I don't want to do any part with you.
Ooh, he said
Ohtani was a done deal for Queens.
He said new phone, who this? I don't know who you are, my guy. Click, hung up the phone on him real quick. But what's your thoughts on Mark T. Maker's question, Don Sicario, before I give my take on it?
I'm more on those, like, I enjoyed the off season to kind of go at a steady pace. I don't want it to just go a bunch of frenziness and then that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
So in a way, I do like that they're stretching it out. I'm having a little bit of patience, right? I'm kind of controlling myself. Got my fidget spinners and whatnot, trying to keep busy. But I get what he means. But I honestly think he signs this week. I think it ends this week. And maybe the Yankees haven't really done anything because I don't think we're going to bring any more bats in. I think we're good on the bat side. I think everything after this is going to be arms. Yeah. So what they're probably waiting for is if they don't get Yamamoto, they're going to see how either we're going to spend money or we're going to spend some prospects. So I do get why they're going to hold out.
Yeah.
But Cashman, he's going to, if he has to have a lot of stuff lined up. Cashman, that's the one, at least one thing we could give him. He'll have some stuff lined up. Whether or not it works out, that's a different story.
And also, too, if you're Yamamoto's agent, you're trying to secure the biggest bag for your guy, right? So it implores you, yes, you're going to try to play that cat and mouse game when it comes to Yamamoto with other teams, but you don't want to wait that long because say hypothetically, Blake Snell.
Hypothetically.
Blake Snell.
I know you say You said say hypothetically, so I said it. Continue.
Clown, clown.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing.
No, I do the same thing too. But let's just say hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, if Blake Snell signs tonight for $280 million, right? Now, if your teams that are negotiating with Yamamoto, you can say, whoa. How are you asking for $300 million when Blake Snell, a two-time Cy Young winner, just signed for $280? Now you're shooting yourself in the foot if you're Yamamoto's agent waiting for so long to sign your guy to a team. Now, if other guys start falling and now the market is set when it comes to Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery, now if you're Yamamoto, you waited too long to sign your deal with a team. That $300 million may not be there tomorrow like it was yesterday. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
And they're waiting each other out, right? Snell's camp is probably like, let's see what he gets. Because whatever he gets, we're going to get more than that. Cy Young Award winner AL, Cy Young Award winner in the NL, like, the Snell situation is a little bit wild if you sit back and think about it. Like,
I haven't heard. Have you guys heard any teams attached to Blake Snell? Like,
no,
even having a meeting with him?
No meetings. But I've heard of teams that are interested. You got the Giants. You got the. ¿De dónde?
You didn't hear?
Shout out my guy RB
with 60 followers.
No.
Yeah, you're a clown, Don.
No, I've heard who was it? The Angels and the Giants, and I think maybe the Cubs. I'm not sure though. But the thing with Snell, and this is the reason why it's a little bit. It's not the same situation with Yamamoto as to like where Snell could guarantee more money than Yamamoto, and it's because Yamamoto has the pitch mix and the less nibbling around aspect of his style to go deeper into games, because he averages 7 innings per start in Japan, and a lot of that was the same way with Tanaka before he came over. Tanaka was averaging 7 innings his first year per start almost.
Yeah,
and if it wasn't for that UCL tear, his fastball wouldn't have declined. So with Yamamoto, you could probably see that transition to a better projection of actual value than a Snell. So I think it's a little bit harder to mix it, because my problem with Snell as a free agent, if I'm a team, is that Snell, besides his AL and his NL years, he has like 3 years where he averages less than 5 innings per start, like literally. And those are the issues that Snell has against him. Is that you won 2 Cy Youngs, but you won 2 Cy Youngs on years that, like, Verlander did have a higher ERA, and he was lucky that he was in the AL East versus Verlander like kind of dominating in Detroit in a pitcher's park in a weak division and all that stuff. So they gave the extra credit to Snell on that, but this year, there was no competition. Like the NL Cy Young was boring as hell. Yeah. Like you didn't have anyone that could really say, "Yo, I prevented as many runs as him and actually got deeper into games." Because that's the problem with Snell right now. He's averaging 17 pitches per inning, almost at 17 and a half. This guy is getting to the 5th inning with like 93, 94 pitches by the end of the 5th. And they're like, all right, we got to take him out.
Yeah, but Boone would probably like that. Like, yo, he's going to only give us 5. Good, we can get to the bullpen. You know, he loves getting into the bullpen anyway. So.
No, but the problem is that he walks so many hitters. You know what Boone would do? Boone would be like, ay, papi, llegaste terminaste la cuarta, estamos en la quinta. And you got the first runner on a walk. He's like, all right, let's get the pitcher in.
Blake Snell, just so people know, Blake Snell in his career, he's only pitched 180 innings twice. He's never pitched more than 180 innings. 2018, when he won the Cy Young with the Tampa Bay Rays, and last year with the San Diego Padres. Besides his 2 seasons of pitching 180 innings, he has 129, 128, 128, 89 innings in 2016, and 2020, obviously COVID season, only 50 innings. So this is not a guy that who's been known as an innings eater. This is not a guy who eats you up innings and could go 8 innings a game. Like Ruben said, he gives you 5 or 6 of his best innings and he's out. You turn it over to your bullpen. Is that a guy you want to invest 280 or 300 million in just so you could get 180 innings out of him in his best year? I don't think so.
And that's another thing. So it was 11 starts in 2020, right? For his 50 innings. That's 4.5 innings. So he's not even close to 5 innings there. And then you go look at his 2021 year. How many innings was it again?
128 and 2/3.
And that was in what, like 24 starts?
I'll tell you how many starts that was. 20. That was 27 starts.
Oh, I was close. Okay, 27? Yeah,
27 starts.
4.76 innings per start.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into last year, and that was 120 innings over 24 starts.
No, you talking about this year that just passed?
No, 22.
Oh, 22. Yeah, 24 starts, 128 innings. He's not an innings eater. He's not a guy that's going to eat up a lot of innings.
So this is in Scherzer that won 2 Cy Youngs in 2 different leagues that was going deeper into games. That's the hard part with Snell. If I'm any team that signs him, I gotta be like, bro, I gotta like get the juice like squeezed out of his lemon, bro. You know what I mean? Like let it pitch until his arm falls off because like he's gonna kill your bullpen. Yeah. Because if he has one bad year, forget it. Like you know how much screening he would have in New York. If I'm Snell, you stay the hell out of New York.
I don't think it's gonna happen
whether it's
regardless.
whether it's the Mets or whether it's the Yankees. If I'm Blake Snell, I'm staying out of New York. I'm going to the West Coast. There's reports somebody put in the in there. He's having conversations with the Angels. Go ahead, go to Anaheim. Go be Mike Trout's ace to the rotation that they desperately need. Now the Angels want to spend money when they lose out on Shohei Ohtani. Can you believe that shit? Now they want to spend money.
Trade Trout, please. Trade them.
I just want to highlight something. My guy Jonathan just put it in the chat. We're sitting on 62 likes. Can we get to 75? I think we can. Jonathan. If you guys haven't hit that like button, smack that like button. And also, we are sitting on 2,139 subscribers. We are one away from 2,140. Last week we broke 2,000 subscribers. We appreciate all of you guys. And just to let you guys know, we're gonna have a New Year's giveaway with my guy Frank Luna. Frank Luna is gonna come onto the channel. We're gonna do a giveaway for the community, and also pay attention. We just locked in an interview with Anthony Volpe, my guy Jerry Ferrara. It's going to let us know the dates on that, so pay attention. You're not gonna miss out on the Anthony Volpe interview. I'm super excited for that. And also, if you missed the interview we did with Jabba Chamberlain, make sure you go back, show that video some love. It was a great conversation. Thank you so much for that one. But fellas, I want to do an open panel, right? Don Sicario, I know you said you only had limited time. So if you want to dip out, you could dip out right now. Ruben, if you want to hang out for a few, if you want to dip out, you just let me know. I would love to have you in on it. But I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. Don Sicario, we will see you next week here on Tuesday. Sorry about the timing. It was chaotic today. You know, Ruben came on late. Don Sicario came on late. I got Jason held it down. But Don, I appreciate you. Thank you for everything you do. My guy, any last words for the chat before you get out of here?
Listen, if y'all haven't checked it out yet, hit up the NYY News YouTube channel where me and Ruben and my guy Lamenta Mantra Felix, we cooking up on there. We about to go live maybe tomorrow or the next day on the Don Yankee show, and we're gonna be cooking up some stuff. So follow us, like subscribe to the channel, subscribe to this channel, hit the like for crying out loud. If y'all gonna be sitting here watching, or if you're gonna be listening, take the moment and just leave a like. It doesn't kill. It doesn't take long to do that, son. All you gotta do it. You're in the chat, exit out, hit the like, get back in the chat. Yeah, nobody's gonna take your spot. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Yo, but thank you for having me on. And again,
of course,
hold it down and much love.
Appreciate you, my guy.
Hold it down.
I got you, bro.
Appreciate my guy. Appreciate my guy. Let me just fix up the back real quick. There we go. Shout out my guy, retired war vet, who's in the building. Like I said, I'm going to drop the link for the open panel. Like always, let's be respectful to YouTube's terms and services, Facebook terms and services, Twitter and Instagram as well. If this is your first time coming up to the open panel, just click the link that is in the chat. If somebody is in the middle of giving their take, allow them to finish because the same time will be given to you. I'm going to bring you guys up like you showed up in the queue. And I got to bring up my guy, Jonathan, in the building. Jonathan, let me get a thumbs up to let me know you're ready to come up. I got the thumbs up. Let's bring up Jonathan. Jonathan, how are you doing?
What's up, buddy?
I'm good.
How you feeling, bro? What's your thoughts about the Yamamoto stuff, my guy?
I'm excited. I'm really confident. I'm confident the Yankees will get this done. Yankees. It seems like, first of all, the Yankees have scouted him the hardest, and I think Hal Steinbrenner noticed that last year his fans are upset. He wanted to do changes last year, and he didn't do anything. This is his year to make up for it, and if we want to silence all his critics from last year, Yamamoto is the way to go.
Bingo. Bingo. Yamamoto is the way to go. Jonathan, I don't think there's any Yankee fan out there that would disagree with you. I see I got somebody else backstage. Davey, it's just showing that you're having camera connection issues. I'm not sure if that's on our end or your end, but if you want, Davey, close out the StreamYard link, hit the link again and refresh and come back in. Sometimes that happens that the camera can't connect. Go ahead, Rubes.
How about I actually got to head out now.
No, all good. Ruben, give your last words to the
guys.
chat before you get out of here. I'll probably rock on for another 10 minutes or so. Go ahead, Rubes.
Yeah, hold on one second. So real quick, Yamamoto, he's gonna be a Yankee, and I'm gonna say by Friday. And you guys have a wonderful, and I fully expect they're gonna go ahead and sign. All right, peace out, guys.
All right, later, Rubes. I appreciate you, Ruben. That's my guy, Ruben. Oh, there's Jonathan right here. Davey, I'm still seeing the same connection issues. I'm not sure if it's your webcam or you, Davey. If you're using your computer's camera, that may be the issue. Sometimes StreamYard doesn't allow the computer camera. That may be the issue. Davey, I'm gonna bring you up, but just turn your camera off. Davey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
There you go, my brother. Salute to you. Thank you for coming on to the open panel. First time on the open panel, right?
Yes. But
my guy,
I agree with you with the Yankees about their beard policy. You're allowed to have a beard as long as it's groomed. I believe I saw Don Mattingly with a beard, Steve Balboni with a beard.
I think it's a mustache. That you're allowed to have a mustache as long as it doesn't come down. Yeah, as long as it doesn't come down the sides of your lips right here. You're allowed to have your mustache.
You remember Gossage had the mustache like here?
Yeah, Gosh has had his coming down to like right here, and that was like the most he could have it. But Davey, what's your thoughts on Yamamoto, my guy?
I want him, but 350 is my final offer.
350 is your cutoff point?
Yes. And I want him bad. I actually disagreed with Jason. I wanted Yamamoto. If I had my choice between Yamamoto and Soto, I would take Yamamoto over Soto.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen, that's a hot take. Go ahead, Davey. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, brother.
Because I think Soto, if no disrespect to Soto, because I think he's a bona fide Hall of Famer. But my opinion, he's replaceable. You might not get a Soto, but you will replace his bat. Okay, that's my opinion here.
Listen, like Anna Marie just said in the chat, that's a real hot take right there. Listen, when it comes down to Soto, I think it would be a PR nightmare, right? I think the Yankees are going to try everything they can to re-sign Soto after this season, right?
No doubt about it.
I think it would be a big PR nightmare if the Yankees bring him in for one season, tease your fans, and then you allow him to go sign with either the Red Sox or with the New York Mets. I think it would be a terrible PR disaster. What's your thoughts on that, Jonathan? And let's throw it back to Davey.
I don't think the Yankees give up what they gave up and not re-sign Soto. They will. The fans. I think the fans will want Soto as much as they wanted Judge. I think. And Judge, regardless what the media says, he doesn't care if someone is making more money than him.
Yeah.
He just wants to win, just like Jeter. Judge is essentially Jeter
2.0.
2.0.
Yeah. And to your point, Jonathan, I'll throw it back over to Davey. And Davey also, just to let everybody know, if you come up here and you give a take, like Anna Marie says, we respect your opinion. We may not agree with it, but everybody knows that their take and their opinion is always valid. This is not a debate show where I'm going to debate with Davey on his take. No, Davey gave me his take. I give him my take. And we just Yankee fans having a conversation. That's all we're doing over here, right? But for me, when it comes down to Juan Soto and Yamamoto, it's the perfect passing of the torch. Yeah. Like Jonathan says, right? If Soto gets a massive contract and he's paid more per season than Judge, A-Rod was making more money than Derek Jeter. You think Derek Jeter cared about it?
Do you know what Soto brings that the Yankees have never? The Yankees have always won whenever there's been a World Series, there's always been a major left-handed home run hitter in their lineup.
Facts.
That was one
at least
thing
two.
that never.
At least
they always
two.
had two. Yes, that is something that was missing last time. From 1923 with Gehrig and Ruth, both lefties, both big power. They've never won a World Series without two big power lefty bats.
Yeah, exactly. And go ahead, Davey.
1996. O'Neal didn't have big power. No.
I think Jonathan. What Davey? What Jonathan means is that they didn't have. Out of all the championships the Yankees had, they've never won not one championships with less than two left-handed hitters in the lineup. Doesn't have to be power hitters as long as they're left-handed hitters in the lineup.
In that, I agree with Jonathan.
They've never won a World Series without lefties in their lineup. And the last couple of years, they've been neglecting the lefty, especially Yankee Stadium, which was built for lefties.
And if your stadium is built for left-handed hitters, right, Jonathan? Why are you going to have lineups that have 8 right-handed hitters in the lineup? That makes no sense.
And that was the big mistake when they got Stanton instead of Harper. Harper was the lefty you needed at the time. And Harper would have given you much more than Stanton has given you.
Yeah,
that's true. I agree with that. And here's the thing about Soto. Now that we got Soto, you got to sign him.
Fact. I agree with you, Davey. Like
now
I said,
that we got him, you got to sign him. My take is if they wanted to get either Yamamoto and Soto, I would take Yamamoto. But now that I got Soto for that year, I got to sign him.
I 100% agree with you, Davey. 100% agree with you. Fellas, we're going to just throw it around one more time just because it's 8:27. I want to wrap up a little bit after 8:30. But Jonathan, when it comes to the bullpen, how are you feeling about this bullpen? I know L.I. Yankee King wants the Yankees to sign Josh Hader. Anna Marie as well wants the Yankees to sign Josh Hader. If it comes down to it, if the Yankees do sign Josh Hader, I'm not going to hate it, but I'm not going to love it at the same time.
There's one thing we're missing
we
didn't have last year that we're probably going to have this year, and that's Lewis Hill. When Lewis Hill comes back, he will go to that bullpen, and he will make it a monster bullpen. That's what I believe. Lewis Hill was a pitcher that missed all of last year, and with his arm, I think we're going to have a great bullpen.
Anna Marie, you gotta let me know what's for dinner, Anna Marie, and save me a plate because I'm hungry myself. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Steve Ross is the other pitcher.
Yeah, and with Luis Hill, shout out to my guy Dane Huber over at NYY Underground, who does an amazing job covering the Yankees prospects. And shout out to my brother Pete Seminetti over there on NYY Underground. I know he's live right now, but when it comes to Luis Hill, all the reports show that Luis Hill, he's already touching 100 miles per hour on his fastball.
And here's the other question I have for you. Do you think
that sounds good.
As a closer, do you think Hill or Loizaga could be the closer?
Loizaga, yes, because I think the Yankees, they've been trying to groom Loizaga to eventually become that closer, but he's had injuries over the past couple of seasons. He's regressed as well. I think if I had to pick, definitely Loizaga. Luis Hill, he still needs some time under his belt. He still needs to be thrown into the fire in the 7th or 8th inning. But if I had to put money on it, Loizaga is my choice.
The only thing that I remember about Loizaga, I think he has to focus on less speed and more control of his pitches. If he does that, I think he will be a scary closer.
And like my guy 1ZLS says, he has to stay healthy. And that's the one thing. Lasagna has to stay healthy. Yeah.
Go with more control and less speed.
Hector and Jonathan.
With the less speed and more control, that will help his arm.
Go ahead, Davey. I'll throw it over to you, brother.
I have a feeling Efros will be our closer.
Efros, that's a hot take right there. When it comes to Efros,
it's my little feeling. However, I'll give it to Gil. But Efros, and I do not want any free agent closer. I don't want any. I have no interest.
You don't have any interest in Hader?
Nope, I don't need to.
No.
Okay.
Like I remember the last time we got. Chapman was the last, I think, free agent closer. He was okay.
We traded for him.
Yeah, we traded for him, but we gave him a contract extension during his free agent year. So yeah, no, I get what you're saying, Davey, with that. When it comes to Efros, for me, it's his stuff. He's more of a breaking pitch, more of a finesse pitcher. He's not a lights out. He doesn't have a 98 miles per hour when it comes to his fastball. So he's more of a finesse pitcher. But I see what you're saying, Davey. If Efros could turn into that solid 7th inning guy, 8th inning guy, I think that's going to be more of his role with the New York Yankees. Situational. But if I had to put money, obviously, we got to talk about Loizaga. Obviously.
My gut feeling.
Yeah. No, and I respect your gut feeling. Yeah.
I don't have any like hardcore evidence. I have a feeling that this guy will be a closer. In any case, I remember our closers before Mr. Chapman, who was our Wetland was our last free agent closer before that. Obviously, Rivera.
Yeah,
you know what
and
I mean?
Soriano was a good Soriano. We got as a setup guy. It was just a year that Mariano Rivera blew out his knee in the outfield that Soriano was able to come in as a closer, and he did a phenomenal job as a closer with the New York Yankees. While Mariano, and he was able to use that as a way to get paid. I think he signed with the Seattle Mariners and the Atlanta Braves. I'm not too sure, but Rafael Soriano always was a solid guy coming out of the bullpen. All right, I just want to get your final takes because we're going to close it out. It's 8:31. I throw it over to you, Jonathan. What's your final takes for the chat? And then let's throw it over to Davey to get his final takes. And of course, first time on the panel, he's going to close us out. Go ahead, Jonathan.
I think Yamamoto will make a decision either Friday or this weekend, and it will be with the Yankees.
Okay, Davey.
I think we're going to get Yamamoto. We're going to get him on Christmas Eve.
Okay. All right. Nice take. Take. Over to the weekend. All right, fellas. Appreciate you guys.
I gotta go.
No problem, Davey. Appreciate you, Davey. Jonathan, like always, appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for jumping up to the open panel. Appreciate all of you guys that was in the chat. Listen, like I said, we are sitting on 2,100 and 40 subscribers. So we got to 2140 on tonight's stream. If you're watching this for the first time, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Shout out to my guy, retired war vet, Stephen B, 01LS, Anna Marie, appreciate you. My guy, Mark T. Maker, Michael Caputo, Jeremy Fishman, Davey was in the chat, Frankie Rivera was in the building, my guy, the Whiz Kid was in the building, Uncle Tats and the Pinstripe Chronicles. I'm your guy, Hector from Morning Brew Sports, and like always, deuces.